How much money do you gain from having a video with 1 million views? What's up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Emil On from Squidmar Miniatures, and today I've got a video mainly focused on questions that you guys sent me, or 100% based on questions that you guys sent me. I did one of these, it's like 4 months ago now, and since then my channel has 3 times as many followers and I have like 5 times as many Patreon supporters. So I felt like I wanted to give back to those Patreon supporters who keep supporting this channel and making sure that I can do this a few days every week. So I let them ask me anything they wanted, and let's go through and answer all of them today. Okay, so Ginrose asked, which minigame is your favorite? Are there any you like that aren't 40k or Age of Sigmar? I actually don't play that many games now. Since I started this channel, I don't have much time for it. Most of my evenings when I don't take care of the kids, I have to edit film and answer emails and things like that. But Age of Sigmar is my favorite game, and my second favorite game is Warhammer Underworlds. Malabor asks, what is your favorite Swedish coffee, Gevalia or Löfberg? I'm actually not adult enough to drink coffee, so none of them. What is your favorite paint brand? That's a very tough question. I like a lot of them. I use a lot of Games Workshop paints because that's what I got from friends that stopped using them. Vallejo would be probably the brand that I buy the most paints from, but I also have like Green Stuff World. Yeah, Vallejo maybe. What do you do outside of painting to find inspiration and motivation to paint? I never really had a big problem with inspiration and creativity. That's always been sort of my calling in life. So I always practice creativity. I always practice finding inspiration and looking for inspiration, and maybe I should make a video on that. Black Olive Games asks, are you a full-time YouTuber now, or do you have other jobs? Well, the answer to that is no and yes. Kind of. I have to kind of split this question up into many different questions. What I will do also is I will answer the most asked question on my YouTube channel ever in this one as well. And that question is, did I make my money back from the Fiverr video? Am I a full-time YouTuber now? Yes, I spend full-time on this YouTube channel now. This is the only thing pretty much that I do. From time to time I also take on these like advertisement video and photo jobs, like commercial jobs, and the reason for that is because of the Patreon mainly. Do I make a full-time living out of it? Like, can I take out a full salary? On the average month, I actually don't make enough money to sustain my family, my house, and Patreon is growing incredibly fast, and I'm super grateful for that. But with the combined like Amazon associate links that I have, where people buy stuff from Amazon using my links, the AdSense from YouTube, and the Patreon, I am about, I would say, 70% there on average every month, with the exception of November last year, which was just ridiculous with the Fiverr video that went nuts. So let's just talk about these crazy numbers for a while. I was kind of surprised when I hit 1 million, and I sat up a whole evening just updating my stats to see whenever I would reach that magic number. And I'm going to show you kind of how my stats used to look before the Fiverr video. And this is like my lifetime before the Fiverr video came out, and I used to have somewhere between 3 to 7 to 15,000 views every day, with the exception maybe of the release of the contrast paints. That one got a big boost, and then all of a sudden, boom. It's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is just beyond me. These numbers are so crazy that I don't even know what to say. So naturally, with these many new views every day, November was a really good month for me, and with the money that I got this month from all of these views on the channel, mainly from the Fiverr video obviously, I managed to squeeze over the limit of what I need every month. And to a lot of people this might come as a surprise, but every month as a company owner I need to bring in about $5,000 to $6,000 to cover all of my costs with insurance and all the gear that I have, and of course the main and the biggest cost, my salary. You kind of need to get a lot of money in every month to make this thing go round properly. And yeah, I'm just super happy that I got this boost in November, and it got a lot of new people into the hobby, a lot of new people into enjoying my channel, so I'm really grateful for that, and a lot of it is thanks to the stuff that you've been doing, liking all of the videos and commenting, so I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, let's get to the meat of the issue here, or the meat of the discussion. Did I make my money back? So I spent about $200 from my personal savings to make that video, and for these 1 million views, YouTube has kindly given me $2,800, which is just an insane amount of money for one video. And this is like more than 10 times my average before I released this video. And now it's, I mean, I have more views now, but it's still almost 10 times over my average amount of return per video. So yeah, fun numbers to see, and it's kind of, I guess it's kind of interesting to see how it is to be a YouTuber and how crazy it is sometimes, and how difficult and grinding it can be other times. To answer your question, I spent full time on it. I almost make a full-time living out of it. Hopefully within just the coming few months, with the sponsors and everything, I will be able to make it my full-time job. And long term, I hope to be able to hire an editor so I can do more and better videos, and then just have someone else edit them for me, and I can spend more time on the things that I think is most fun with this. Has your marketing promotion background helped you with your channel? Yeah, sure. I think it helps a lot. Marketing is incredibly important. Just understanding how things work, what people are interested in, that kind of stuff really helps a lot. Hej, jag håller på att spela in nu. Kids come home. What are your thoughts on commission painting? Is it a good way to improve your skill? Will it teach you how to cut corners? For me, I think when learning to paint, I think it's very important to not just spend 100 years on one thing, because when you paint that thing, you're probably going to paint it the wrong way, and you're just going to keep painting that thing wrong. So my recommendation is to learn how to paint fast, and to kind of know when you want your miniature to be finished, and then jump on to the next one quickly. So what painting commissions for me did was it gave me a time limit. So if I was paid a certain amount of dollars, I knew I could only spend like 3-4 hours on it, and I wanted to make the miniature as good as possible within that time frame. For me, that was very helpful. It increased my skill a lot in a very short amount of time, but at the same time, painting commissions is also very taxing. It's kind of soul draining. If you do it, especially like armies, units and things like that, you will get tired incredibly fast if you can't paint what you're excited about painting. Painting single models, it's a bit different, because then you have like one figure you have to finish, and when you're done with that, you're done. You can go on to paint your own stuff. Do you paint mostly for gaming or display? I paint mostly for fun. Sometimes it's for gaming, and sometimes it's for display. Sometimes I just paint because I haven't feeling excited about painting something. Are your gaming miniatures painted quickly, or do you spend time on them to make them look good? It's kind of a mix. My units don't look fantastic. They look great, but not like display quality. And then my heroes, I spend a lot of time on them, so they look kind of good. Lego Pirate, do you ever get demotivated with a painting project? Yes, all the time. Yeah. What do you do to get motivated again? A lot of times I just leave things be for a while. I put it on the shelf and get back to it months later. I just try not to pressure myself about painting things I don't feel excited about, because that just kills the excitement for painting. A lot of times the excitement for figure comes back after like half a year or something, so don't feel too worried about it. Which one of the Warhammer TV painters is your favorite? Well, Duncan, Peachy, or Nick? Well, since Duncan kind of quit Games Workshop now, I have to say Duncan. Rest in peace, bro. We're gonna miss you. Come back, do your own thing on YouTube. Dan the Man. Do you find time to do any other hobbies while having kids' family life? I struggle with this myself. It's incredibly difficult, especially now, as I said, since the YouTube channel pretty much takes up my work time, and all of my like free evenings are pretty much dedicated to this. But I used to play like beer league hockey. I've said this before. One of my big hobbies before I started working with photography was photography and retouch and doing like digital art in Photoshop. So I've had a couple of different hobbies, but right now the focus is on YouTube, which is one hobby, and then miniature painting and playing Warhammer, which is one. So I'm kind of lucky I got to like combine 3 hobbies into one, which is magical. If I come to Sweden on holiday, will you give me a masterclass on painting? Sure, we can set something up. Why so idle? How often do you leave your basement? Well, not nearly enough. I always feel like I'm behind when producing videos and painting, so I kind of always feel like I have to like be here to just focus and do stuff. Sometimes it's not the best way to do things, but yeah, I have to learn and I have to kind of get ahead of schedule a bit so I can relax a bit more. How do you deal with failures? How do you keep pushing you to be better instead of just using simple techniques? I just try to paint stuff, you know. I did this video called Paint Bravely, and in that one I talk a little bit about how you can challenge yourself to be better. And that's something that I try to do a lot. I just try to paint one new thing for every miniature I do, try a new technique or a new color or a new paint set or something. And failures, like to talk about that is just push through it. I think what most people do is that they paint something like to like a 20% finished, and then they feel like it doesn't look like the finished model they had in mind. But the thing is, like, the miniature starts looking good at like 80-90%, so don't feel too discouraged early. Just push through that stage and don't focus too much on details during like the first 20 or 50% of the miniature. You can do that in the end. Sketch out the volumes, make things look good in like a grand scheme, and then do the details, because then you won't feel like you failed as early as if you just spend time on details and you fail with the first detail you paint. How do I find time painting while having kids and partners? Do I have some routine agreed with your partner? Well, right now, since it's starting to become a part of my working life, I do this during daytime, so it isn't a big of a problem for me. Before that, I just tried to get stuff done, and then when I put kids to sleep, that was the time when I sat down and painted. I didn't watch TV for like a year because I was so excited about painting, so that's how I did it. Just cut out everything else and you find time to paint. Spexidor, do you feel sad when sending away commissions? No, not really. How many unpainted minis do you have in your drawers? I would say it's probably 400 maybe. I don't know. Any long-term goals for the channel? Yeah, well, the first one is obviously I want to make sure that I can make like a steady income from this. Not like it is right now, that every other month I make enough money and every other month I don't make enough money. So that's like my first goal right now. After that, I feel like the sky's the limit. Just having fun, feeling more secure about doing what I want to do, not listening too much about people complaining about videos and things like that. I don't know, 1 million subscribers maybe. Dream collaboration with another YouTuber. Oof. Well, I have a lot of those. Jassa, I've talked about him before. That would be ridiculous. I would love to visit Warhammer Weekly sometime. That's a YouTube show I watched like every episode the last 2 years. Black Magic Craft and Miniac are 2 guys that I've always looked up to. Luke's APS is another one that I hopefully will do a collaboration with this year. So that's like a win. What is your favorite color to use? Favorite brands and go-to colors? Brands, as I talked about a bit earlier, but colors, I like browns, I like greens, I like browns and greens. That's my favorite colors. Skin tone, I like painting skin tone just because I feel like every time I do, I learn something new. What do you do when you suddenly have a better idea for your project halfway through? I just change up halfway through. If it's an army, I probably wouldn't change the whole army. I would probably either not do the army at all or just keep painting the way I have just to finish it. But if it's just a miniature, I would just redo it. I mean, it's just plastic, it's just time, it's about having fun, so don't focus too much about like, oh, but what about this? Spend time, it's lost time. No, it's not. I learned something, I had fun, and now I can do something even better. That's a good name. How do you handle balance between the kids' painting and work? Talked about that just a second ago. Shikiri, what would be your absolute dream figure to paint and why, existing or not? Well, my dream miniature, hopefully I will be able to make my dream miniature this year. I don't want to spoil too much, but that's a dream that I have. But existing ones, well, Spira Mirabilis, it's a brand. I will show some figures that they have done. All the miniatures they release have so much life, and unfortunately I don't have any of them. When they released these new ones like a month ago, I didn't have enough cash to order them, but someday I will buy a couple of them and I will paint them. Do you prefer wine or beer? Well, funny enough, it's the same answer as with coffee. I'm not adult enough to drink that stuff. Jokes aside, I've never been a fan of the taste of either wine or beer or alcohol for that matter, so I don't drink any of them. So if you meet me, you can buy me like a ginger ale or something. That's a good thing to buy me. Do you ever lose interest in a model halfway through, and how do you power on to completion? I feel like we discussed that as well earlier, so I won't go into that too much. Cygnus M. Are you a morning person or a night owl? I am definitely a night owl. With kids and kids going to school, that's not a good combination, so I've had to learn to be productive during daytime as best as I can. I think I would work a lot more and get a lot more done if I worked during daytime or nighttime instead of day, though. Yeah, and the follow-up question was when do I get into your peak creative flow? Well, I would say it's about like 9 in the evening maybe, and unfortunately I almost never can work during that time. What technique do you use and stay away from when painting FDM printed models, and do you have a general trick when dealing with prints? This is a really interesting discussion, and I've actually had plans for making a video about 3D printing and painting 3D printed stuff that is done with like the FDM printers that I use for printing my terrain. The biggest problem with these are like the printing lines and that they don't produce as high of a quality. So like dry brushing is a big no-no generally with these. What I do is I try to enhance like the volumes. Miniac called it beautifully volumetric painting. So what that means, instead of like painting, just dry brushing everything and making everything lighter, I just paint what's on top and brighten that. Don't use washes. That's my recommendation too. Kim Morton, what is your favorite book? And no, the IKEA catalog does not count. I have not read a lot of books, to be honest. I always prioritize other things. And things like that could be watching movies when I have time for that. I think the last time I read a book that I really enjoyed was like The Lord of the Rings, and that was like 20 years ago. Yeah, I read some like information books and like inspirational books as well, but yeah, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Nico, what step, progress, technique in your painting made you more confident as a painter? I think it's a combination of everything. Just like for every mini I painted, I learned about like the placement of highlights, placement of shadows, color combinations, and things like that. And I just think that like for every miniature that I paint with a purpose, I feel like I learned something. That's when I also improve as a painter and feel more confident as a painter. But if you're too confident, you're doing something wrong. Then you're not improving. For display pieces, how do you choose your miniatures? I choose something that I look at and I feel like I can add something to the painting of it, and of course a miniature that I think will be fun to paint. I've had miniatures that I've seen that I've been super excited about how good they look, and then when I have them in my hand, I don't feel inspired to paint them at all. Favorite sculpt of all time? I think that's impossible to say. I really like Gordrak from Games Workshop, Alariel from Games Workshop, two awesome miniatures. From other brands, there are like 100 different ones that I really like. Spira Mirabilis have one of them. Hera models have a lot of nice busts. Black Sun Miniatures, cool stuff. How many video ideas do you have in the pipeline at any given moment? Right now I have like 10 started video projects, either like at the script stage or like started recording and haven't had time to finish. Painting videos take a lot more time to do, so usually if I have like, I want to paint this thing or make a tutorial about how to paint this specific technique, usually I start them and then I let them rest for a while. But like 10-15 ideas at any time. Which other YouTubers do you follow inside and outside the painting world? Well, I follow almost all of them in the mini painting world. Yeah. I think that's... And outside the mini painting world, oh, I follow even more people. I don't know, for me it's just like... Sometimes I just let like the rabbit take me down the YouTube holes, and then I watch this certain YouTuber for a few weeks, and then next time I watch this one because YouTube recommends me down that path. It's a weird mix. What is your source of inspiration? Do you use box art, paintings, comics, or what do you like most? I use everything of it. I think the miniature painting world is getting really good. Like, there are a lot of incredible artists that are starting to do a lot of miniature painting and posting stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, so you can get easily inspired by that stuff. Otherwise, I think like artwork for games, movies, concept art, like there's just so much good stuff out there. Movies as well, just look at stuff you enjoy and then try to implement that into your miniature painting. David S. In a previous video, you mentioned you enjoy playing hockey. Do you watch hockey? Who are your favorite players, teams, NHL and otherwise? Yes, I do watch hockey a bit. I don't follow any Swedish hockey teams, but I follow the NHL. Unfortunately, most of those games are played like 3 in the morning at night or whatever you want to call it, so I can't watch a lot of them. Like once a month they have these like daytime games. At the moment, because of my time limitations, I only follow Edmonton Oilers, but I used to be a Sharks fan. I used to follow Penguins a lot as well when I was a kid. The dream hair was the Jaromir Jagr hair, so, and the Sharks just had the best logo in the world together with the Anaheim Ducks. I also watch Sweden like in the national scene at like Olympics and World Cup and the World Juniors. Matthew, do you listen to music while you paint? Sometimes I do, not when I record when I paint, but when I just paint for funsies or like a commission, then I have music on. At the moment I listen a lot to like soft pop, I don't know what to call it, but there's a Norwegian singer called Sigrid who does amazing music. Before that it was a lot of like rock and metal. Banindorial, do you ever second guess your finished models? Such as, could it be more, it feels lacking? Sometimes I do, yeah. Sometimes I just feel like this project is done and I have to leave it. I feel like I can't polish the turd anymore. And sometimes I guess it's like before I feel that I'm finished, I second guess it and then I just work with it until I feel like it's better. Do you plan heavily for dioramas? Yeah. I tried dioramas, except for the Tomb Kings Mino diorama I did. That one I just kind of had a general idea and then I just took a chance and added things, and it was a really fun project to do when I didn't have like too many plans, just doing whatever I felt was right. Is there something you're still working on improving with your painting? Yes, everything. I don't feel like I'm a master yet. I just want to get better and have more fun with every mini I do. And I want to be better at creating an atmosphere. Like there was this amazing piece, I think it was Arnaulasaru, or whatever it's pronounced. I will add the photo here and write the name below if I remember the wrong name. But this miniature looks like it's peeking through your closet in your bedroom when you're sleeping, and that's creepy as hell. But like that atmosphere, I want to be able to do that. I can't right now, but I want to learn and practice until I get good enough to do that. How often do I play versus time spent painting? Right now I barely play anything. Last year I played maybe like 15% and painted 85. What is your favorite thing you've painted? I think the thing that I'm most proud about is my orc, the one I have as like an avatar icon. Still to this day, I think it's the miniature that I spent most time on and one that I kind of finished every detail on to the highest level I could to that point. The miniature is over a year old now. I just haven't had as much time to be like nitpicky because I do these videos and I have to paint a new one every week. So, does your spouse support your hobby? She doesn't enjoy this hobby at all. She's really happy that I enjoy doing this, and she's really happy that it's almost my full-time job now and that I've been able to kind of move forward so quickly with this YouTube thing. So that's I'm super grateful for that. Neil Short, what Warhammer or 40k army or race is your favorite to paint and convert? And where do you find the inspiration for colors and schemes? I really like painting orcs, and I really like elves and elven things. Unfortunately, there aren't many elf things now in Warhammer that are really good, but I think it will get there. Hopefully Games Workshop realized that we need more elves in the Warhammer universe. For 40k, I think Space Marines, I just like painting them a lot. Is any of your band's music available commercially? Yeah, you can find it all on Spotify. The band is called Sonaria with a Z. Insert name here. And then to the last person asking questions, Henrik, which mini painting YouTuber is overrated? Squidmar miniatures, probably. Like mini painter, I don't know. Like everyone paints to different levels, everyone caters to different audiences. No one is overrated. I don't think there is anyone that everyone loves. So yeah. What's the best 75mm mini you have ever painted? I've only painted one 75mm. I've painted like different scales, but only one that's like true 75. And that's this one. Is a photo here, another photo, and a third photo. What's your favorite comedian? I don't know. There are many of good ones. Like YouTube comedians, YouTube comedic commentators, comedy shows. You have like daily shows like Trevor Noah, things like that. Favorite comedian? Like, I don't know. It's a difficult question. Don't ask hard questions. So friends, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something about me, had a bit of fun with me again. Feel free to join the Patreon, and next time I will answer your questions in a video like this. Watch the videos I have, press likes on all of them. If you press likes, I will get more viewers. With that said guys, have a great day. Bye!